Ever feel like your mind is a battlefield, like you're constantly fighting against a storm of negative thoughts, anxiety, and stress? You're not alone. But what if I told you that 2,000 years ago, one of the most powerful men in the world faced the same struggles and found a way to conquer them? I'm talking about Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. He wasn't just ruling an empire, he was ruling his inner world, cultivating a state of profound serenity amidst chaos. Today, we're going to dive deep into his timeless wisdom and uncover the practical techniques he used to master his mind. These aren't just ancient philosophies. They are powerful, actionable strategies that you can start using right now to find your own strength in serenity. So, who was Marcus Aurelius? He was the last of the so-called 5 good emperors of Rome. Imagine having the weight of an entire empire on your shoulders, dealing with wars, plagues, political betrayals, and personal loss. It's a recipe for overwhelming stress. Yet Marcus is remembered for his calmness, his wisdom, and his resilience. How did he do it? He kept a personal journal, a collection of his private thoughts and reflections, which we now know as meditations. This book wasn't meant for publication. It was his personal guide, his way of coaching himself through life's toughest challenges. And within its pages, he reveals the secrets to a tranquil mind. It all boils down to a fundamental shift in perspective. He believed that our inner peace isn't determined by what happens to us, but by how we respond to what happens to us. The first, and perhaps most powerful tool in Marcus Aurelius's mental toolkit was the practice of gratitude. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Gratitude, isn't that just some feel-good, cliched advice? But for Marcus, it was a rigorous mental exercise, a way to actively reframe his perception of the world. He understood that our minds have a natural negativity bias. We tend to focus on what's wrong, what we lack, what's causing us pain. This is a survival mechanism, but in our modern world, it often leads to chronic anxiety and dissatisfaction. To combat this, Marcus would intentionally and systematically focus on what he was thankful for. He wouldn't just think, "I'm grateful for my health." He would go deeper. He'd reflect on the intricate workings of his body, the miracle of breath, the ability to see, to think, to connect with others. He would write, "When you wake up in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." This wasn't a passive thought. It was an active redirection of his attention. Think about it this way. Your mind is like a garden. If you let it go, weeds, negative thoughts, worries, resentments will naturally take over. Practicing gratitude is like intentionally planting flowers. You have to actively cultivate it. Marcus would look at the people in his life, even those who frustrated him, and find something to be grateful for. He thanked his teachers for their lessons, his parents for their character, even his enemies for testing his virtue. This practice does something incredible to your brain. It forces you to hunt for the good. It rewires your neural pathways to spot opportunities instead of threats, to see blessings instead of burdens. So, how can we apply this? Start a gratitude journal. Every morning or evening, write down 3 specific things you're grateful for. Don't just list them. Like Marcus, reflect on them. Why are you grateful for that morning cup of coffee? Is it the warmth, the aroma, the quiet moment before the day begins? This simple, consistent practice starves your negative thoughts of the attention they crave and feeds your sense of peace and contentment. It's about shifting from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance. The second core pillar of Marcus Aurelius's mental mastery was his unwavering commitment to virtue. For the Stoics, the ultimate goal in life, the key to a good and happy existence, was to live a life of virtue. But what does that even mean? It's not about being a perfect, flawless saint. For Marcus, virtue consisted of 4 key qualities: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. Let's break those down. Wisdom is the ability to see things clearly, to differentiate between what is in our control and what is not. Justice is about treating others with fairness, kindness, and respect, recognizing our shared humanity. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act rightly despite our fear. And temperance, or moderation, is about mastering our desires and impulses, not being a slave to pleasure or pain. Marcus believed that true serenity comes from aligning our actions with these virtues, regardless of external circumstances. He wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts," and for him, quality thoughts were virtuous thoughts. When faced with a difficult person, instead of reacting with anger, he would strive for justice and understanding. When facing a painful setback, he would call upon courage to endure it and wisdom to learn from it. He understood that external events, what other people say, whether we succeed or fail, whether we are rich or poor, are ultimately outside our control. The only thing truly within our power is our own character, our own choices, our own response. By focusing his energy on being a good person, on acting with virtue, he found an unshakable source of inner peace. External chaos couldn't touch him, because his self-worth and tranquility were anchored in his own actions, not in the unpredictable whims of the world. So how do we cultivate these virtues in our own lives? It starts with self-reflection. At the end of each day, Marcus would review his actions. Where did I act in line with my values? Where did I fall short? This wasn't about self-criticism. It was about self-improvement. He would ask himself, was I wise in my judgment? Was I fair to others? Did I act with courage when I was scared? Did I show restraint? This daily audit is a powerful tool. It makes you conscious of your choices. Before you react to a stressful email, ask yourself, what would a wise response be? Before you gossip about someone, ask, is this just when you're afraid to take a necessary step? Ask, what would courage demand of me? By constantly orienting yourself toward these virtues, you build a strong inner citadel, as Marcus called it, a fortress of character that no external event can breach. Your peace is no longer dependent on getting that promotion or what someone thinks of you. Your serenity comes from the knowledge that you are doing your best to be the best version of yourself. Let's put it all together. The path to mastering your mind, as laid out by Marcus Aurelius, isn't about eliminating problems from your life. That's impossible. It's about building an inner strength that makes you resilient to those problems. It starts with gratitude, actively shifting your focus from what's wrong to what's right, cultivating a sense of abundance and joy in the present moment. It's about starving the negativity and feeding the positivity. Then, it's about embracing virtue, wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance as your guiding compass. By focusing on what's in your control, which is your own character and your own actions, you anchor your peace in something stable and internal, rather than something fickle and external. You stop being a leaf blown about by the winds of fate and become the captain of your own soul. This is the strength of serenity. It's not a passive state of bliss. It's an active, powerful, and resilient state of mind that you cultivate through daily practice. The wisdom of Marcus Aurelius has survived for 2 millennia for a simple reason. It works. It's a practical nonsense guide to human psychology and finding peace in a troubled world. Start small. Tonight, before you sleep, think of 3 things you're genuinely grateful for. Tomorrow, when faced with a challenge, pause and ask yourself, what would be the virtuous way to respond? This isn't a quick fix, but a lifelong practice. But every step you take on this path builds your inner citadel, brick by brick, making you stronger, calmer, and more resilient. You have the power to master your mind, and the journey to serenity starts with a single, conscious thought. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the mind of a great philosopher. If you found this helpful and want to explore more timeless wisdom for modern life, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments which of Marcus's ideas resonated with you the most. Until next time, stay serene.